Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with Off the Board with Pineapple Papers. And my pen is one that I pulled a million years ago and was going to do it as an art journal page. And I got the idea to do it as a layout and thought it would be perfect for Off the Board. One of these days I will do it as an art journal page because there are some things that, some sayings and some quotations I might like to have in a particular art journal that I have. But this was done, it's titled Your Journey, and it is a page by Strawberry Redhead from Flickr. So I don't know what her handle is on Instagram or Facebook or Pinterest for that matter, because it was saved from Flickr by someone, but Strawberry Redhead is who I'd like to attribute it to. So what I see on here, and it's a small format, I see colors kind of blended into one another and smushed on top. This looks like a grid of maybe some border cut papers but mostly washi tape. I like the white coffee stain, and I think I'm going to do that in a couple places after it's all the other colors are down. I have a collection of washi tapes here. I'm going to use, against my better judgment tells me I should be using acrylic paints. But I thought I would use these Dina Wakley Gloss Sprays, and I'm going to try to work them as if they were acrylic paints. There's something about them that I like, that it partly kind of soaks into the paper, and it's also kind of workable. I'm going to get my fingers dirty. I've got VersaFine ink and a couple of stamp blocks. The other thing I'm going to use, I've got two sets. There are many more out there, but I've got two sets of Dina Wakley Media collage paper. And it's tissue paper printed in black and white. This one is only in black. This one is black and white. All of the designs are printed in both black and white. I've cut a strip of the white ones that I thought I might try to work in there somewhere. And I've got these black ones that I thought might be helpful in recreating some of these black areas along the edge. We'll see how that works out, but there are lots of these, so I may cut, this is the sheet that those white ones came from, so I'm going to put that aside. You can see it's the same patterns as these black ones, but they're printed in white. So I'm going to see how well they show up over a dark color, if I end up with a dark color. This is a sheet from the same, well, let's see, which one is it? It's from this set of collage papers, and it has different sayings on it. I think with the photo I'm going to use, it's kind of one of those prom photo poses of Barrett all decked out in his suit, leaning on a cane with the top hat, gorgeous sky behind him. And I thought maybe too much perfection is a mistake. Might be a good title for that. So I'll cut that out when I get to that point. Before I move on, I'm going to go ahead and put some foam behind this. I'm running out of tape, but I'm not going to be using much tape here. I may, let's do that. I'm going to ink the edges, and I'm going to add a couple other washi tapes. I have my film strip washi and my tropical floral washi. That's a big thick roll, and I kind of use it for, well, let me put this back. Right there. Okay. And those will be handy in case I need to use them. I'll have the photo there too, and I'll have that there too. So what I'm going to do now is kind of start smearing paint. And I'm going to take this paintbrush, and what I'm going to do first is I'm using colors that shouldn't, this cheddar might be an exception. I may just kind of do a spritz of the cheddar and then smear the rest. And I'll do a spritz kind of down here and up here. There, and kind of like that. And I'm gonna have handy some paper towel. Okay, that's good. Some of it left the spritz look and some kind of smeared around, so that's good. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is just take the pure yellow and kind of go up and down like this, and maybe a little bit over here. I think I want a little bit more on there. And if yellow blends with the blue, and it also will blend with the pink, and it's not exactly the same as this cheddar color, but it kind of blends in with it. I'm not going to try to get the colors exact. And the reason that you'll even see me kind of trying is that I learn mixed media by trying to emulate or repeat or lift what somebody else has done. And so I noticed there's a streak right here that's green that I think is yellow blended with blue. So I kind of like that. That just left real streaks there. So now I'm going to take this and run it this way. And I'm using the blue blended with the yellow on the page here, so it's going to have that greenish tint instead of the blue. But I'm going to wipe this out and kind of wipe my paintbrush, not really caring whether it gets everything off. And now I'll do some pure blue, and it should look different. I'm going to kind of really blend it in. I'm actually thinking I might well, I can spritz I was gonna say I might just spritz it on, but I can do that after I've kind of got let's do, for the really heavy part, I'm going to do that, and now I'm going to blend it with my fingers, and I think that's going to give it a, see, it's soaking into the paper while there's still some wet on top. So I'm blending some, but some of it is just kind of staying there. And that's what gives it the different, I don't want to say texture, but it kind of gives it the different, the look of different application method. It even looks like different layers, I would say. Oops, I spilled some right there, and that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and spritz a little there and use some of that water to kind of change the color over here. And I'm going to just really kind of move that in. That looks a little more bubblegummy than I want. I'm going to use this, but I'm also going to pull this fuchsia color, and I'm going to put it right there. And then I'm going to blend those in here. I'm going to kind of get it on the ends, and I'm going to do this again. Okay, see how it's, right now I can't move it. It has already set in a way, and that's the beauty of it, because you can kind of smooth it around, but as it sticks, I love it. I love it. And I probably want to do something to blend that. I'm going to do a little bit right in here. Just blending it into the other colors. And I'm going to now there's some kind of awkward beginnings and ends of things here that will get covered up by a lot of stamping. So I think that's all of this color. We want to go like change that to the darker color. Okay, I'm going to put that aside, and now I'm going to start really covering it up with some things that will kind of blur some of those rough edges. Okay, the first thing I wanted to do was, let's see if we can lay down, let's see how effectively this works. And I need a medium acrylic gel. Okay, and I'm gonna have to put that, actually, let me clean this out. And I will put the gel. Okay, it's not coming through the hole, so I will scoop it out like this. I used this just the other day, and I'm going to tell you that I think I may have put it away without fully closing the bottle because it has gotten kind of nasty. So let me wipe that off. And the reason the bottle didn't close, I'll bet, is because it had some gunk. Okay, so I'm going to use a different paintbrush to apply this medium to the tissue paper. So I'll just kind of moosh it up like that. So what I thought was I might take a piece of this pattern and tear it. And let's try applying it and seeing what it does. I thought maybe something right along here. What I'm needing to happen is for the color to show through, and sure enough it does. That's awesome. Okay, now I've got this other torn piece, which, put that over here. I need to have that for my texture paste. I'm going to put another bit of this same paper, and I left my finger on it for a little bit too long, and it stuck to it because I have some of the medium on my finger, but it left me with a couple pieces that are fine. I may just do that and see that seems to work. And then I've got another piece down here, and then I can stamp around that. I didn't get it that far down. Okay, let me fold that over. Okay, that, I'm emboldened by that. And now I want to get a couple pieces of this pattern. And I'm not gonna care whether it's, you know, fussy cut around it, because with that with the gel medium on there, it just blends the paper down into your background, whether it's canvas or paper like I'm working with here, or an art journal watercolor page, doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to take this and go across like that, and I'm going to put it on down here, and then fold the edge over I love it. So let's see, I meant to do that on my mat here. I have the ugly side of my craft mat showing up. Okay, this needs to be cut right there because I don't really want it to overlap. I'm going to try to actually match it up and let it go kind of wonky down to the end here so that it looks, and I can kind of cover that bit up. Now I've done that side there. I'm going to do at least one of these up across this part. And I'm going to do it like this. And now, to kind of get that worked in, all of these things worked in, I'm gonna cover with the medium, which further causes them to kind of recede into the background. Okay, so we have a beginning of a of our canvas here. I'm going to do, just for placement purposes, I'm going to do the washi tapes, and I'm going to put kind of, I'm going to kind of ruffle them up a bit and put them down kind of wonky and wrinkly. This one is, I think, either Dina Wakley or Diane Reefley, and I apologize that I don't know which one. It's one of those rolls that I pulled out of whatever the collection or package or grouping it was in and filed by color. So we've got this pattern on there. I want to do a film strip, just because this is one of a group of photos. I'm going to do this butterfly print, which I think is a Vicky Bouton. And it has a lot of the same colors that we have going on here, which I kind of like. I'm going to do another film strip and have it sticking out maybe like that. And let me do this to get that. Yeah, washi is just printed tissue paper, just like the Dina Wakley media sheets. And it just has adhesive on it. So I'm going to add some more color here with this. I'm going to wrinkle it up and kind of put it on like that, and then just kind of reinforce those wrinkles by doing that. And let me pull the photo and kind of see. There's a few more rows. I think I'm going to go with this sheet music. And I should have tested all these rolls when I pulled them to make sure they would peel. They seem to be cooperating somewhat. There. And I want to do another of the hearts, maybe a little longer, and okay. Kind of going off at an angle there. Okay, I'm going to get the part that I want to use for a title, and I'm going to get it down so that I'll know where I can and cannot stamp. This is just awesome, and Barrett will appreciate saying too much perfection is a mistake. I saw that somewhere else recently in maybe a layout someone did, or a meme on Facebook or something. I saw this and I didn't realize till I did the till I pulled the sheets out, the Dina Wakley sheets, that I had it in a quote on here. Okay, this is wrinkling, and I don't necessarily want it to wrinkle, but okay, so that's cool. I'm gonna do one more row of washi. Get these butterflies kind of going the other way. Okay, and there is a big heart in the original. What I think I'm gonna do, where did my photo go? If my photo goes here, I thought I would use this big star and let the imperfection of the washi not going all the way kind of be cool. This is a Bramble Fox star, and I have this 2022 from Bramble Fox also. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of know whereabouts they're going to go so that I won't stamp there, although I am going to do a little bit of stamping right in here or something. So, and I've got some flare to go in there too. I also did a washi tape butterfly. I have this washi tape that comes in sheets, and I die cut a butterfly out of this dotty washi. So I was maybe on the original, it's kind of over here holding on to that heart. But I think I'm going to put it here where the 2022 is going to go. I'll maybe do that. Let me put the 2022 there. Is that going to work? I tell you what, I'm going to hold it out, put it back in place, and leave one end curled up. And maybe when I put the star, I'll fold it around the star. So that washi tape is a Die Cuts with a View icon stack of printed washi tape, and it is at least 10 years old. So no idea whether it's available still or not. Okay, now I'm gonna start stamping in black around different places with this kind of chevron stamp. And I'm going to have it maybe joining up or running in between like this. So that's okay. I've got this I need to put off to the side. And let me do a bit right here that's just kind of coming off the page. And then I'll do some more. I've got to wipe that up. Okay, and I'm gonna do this sort of like that. I really want a nice frame around it, along with some blurring of all of the color we have going on there. So maybe a little bit right here, kind of unevenly placed. Okay, so I'm gonna put that one aside. And I have a bigger one that's also a chevron, and I think I'm gonna stamp it close to where the washi is. Let me put this aside, and I kind of don't want to stamp it all together. I was thinking maybe here, but that would overlap those guys. It might be better right there. And then maybe a flare can go at that end. And let me take part of it and maybe do something like, well, that didn't quite do what I wanted. Okay, that's fine. It's blurry, kind of. There, it looks like it's just been kind of washed over. Okay, now there are on here some like splotches, and I've got a splotch stamp here. Everyone should have a splotch stamp, right? Where did these stamps go? I'm just going to put them over on this little table here. These are, this is a set called Free Your Imagination, and it's from Visible Image, and it's got a quill and a little bottle of ink, and let's see, I need a smaller. Okay, so splotches right there, and splotches right there, And let me get some, I'm gonna do layers of splotches here, and then go this way, and this way, and this way, and that way, and that way, right there. So that gives us a nice corner of splotches. I'm gonna do some down along. My idea when I didn't let these meet the edge was that I would go over the edge with some stamping. And here the pattern doesn't necessarily show, but we've got all kinds of splotches there. And I'm going to do another bit of messy splotching. Okay, what did I want to do here? Here, let me try something like this. Just kind of inking and dirtying the edge a bit. Okay. It's looking to me, the whole thing right now is looking to me like something of a mess. So hopefully I can fix that. I've got here a dotty kind of thing, and I'm going to get a Distress Oxide ink, and I may get two. I think I'm going to get Picked Raspberry, and I'm going to get, let's see, where is it? It's Peacock Feathers. So I'm going to do without a block, I'm going to do the Picked Raspberry kind of along here and kind of take it up there and kind of okay, I like that, even going over the words. And it kind of goes with this yellow look down here. So I'm going to put some here over this washi tape. And then I'm going to take the other side of it and go into the peacock feathers and kind of hit all of this area. There's a little mix of the two colors, and we'll kind of get some of this. Okay, now I really want to do something cool up here. I like that kind of as it is. I do need some splotches, I think, to fill in this area. And I'm also going to do some here so that it kind of curves out into the center. I'll do some where it hits the area that just had the color on it. it's coming out dark and kind of clear. But where it hits an area that had the gel medium on it, it's a little bit, it's smeary. And I like the mix there because I think that the original has that, and it's the original, I think, achieved that by a lot more layers that I'm prepared to add to do in a video. With an art journal, and the reason, the difference in the way that I work with art journals, and the way I work with you know, scrapbook pages, is art journals for me develop over time, and it's lots of different layers over time, and it might take me several months to finish an art journal page, or years even. I'll do one and then kind of leave it because I don't know where to go next. And that's not just part of my process, it's kind of by intent. And I'm adding these dots just to kind of fill in everything there. I have another, I think I'm done with that stamp. I have another stamp from Visible Image that I have used many times, and it's this one that's a circle with a lot of, like a grid pattern behind it. And I'm going to put it on a block, and I'm going to stamp it in several colors all around. And I'm going to try to do color on color, tone on tone, so that I get a certain effect. I'm not liking that effect. Now, I did that, but I don't like it. So I may go for some contrast, but I'm gonna still try with the peacock feathers and see. Still don't like it. But because I did the pink that way, I'm going to go ahead and do the peacock feathers that way too, just to have a little consistency. Now I'm going to do black, and I think that's going to look better. This is a mess, guys. I will admit to you that this is a mess, and I'm going to kind of, my idea that I had of intentionally putting that away from the edge just wasn't a good one. It makes it look kind of like a mistake. And, you know, too much perfection is a mistake. It must have been too perfect, because now it's a mistake. Okay, so that's done. I'm gonna kind of put that right there, and I'm gonna do this in black and see, but I have to be careful about where I place it in black. Maybe there, and I possibly want to do one down here, and maybe another one here, and another one here so that it kind of overlays that. And I want to overlay this pink one with a black one. And I want to overlay this peacock feathers with the black one. And maybe do 3 right here. Okay, so I like that it's white right here where the title is. I like that I haven't done anything around in there. Now I'm going to do the very last layer of mixed media, which is going to be this, and it's going to be texture paste. Well, actually, let me put the photo on and the star. Let me get some. Oh, I didn't test this, and I've been out of town not using it. Okay, it's coming out. So that's good. Let's see. I need some on the photo. And I'm gonna do it like that. Okay, and the star. Oh, I dropped it, but it's a hefty star, so it did not break. If it had, that's no big deal. I have pasted together ones that I've broken before. Okay, I like that because some of the dottiness is coming through. And then remember that butterfly we had, kind of maybe let it go up over there, over the star, and let me kind of tuck this in. Or get it down there, okay. And then the 2022 is gonna go right over here in this kind of a mess, this messy area, and so that's gonna help it kind of show up. Okay, now I want to do, I'm glad I did that, because I'm going to do it kind of going off the page with the white texture paste. And then I'll have to figure out where to put the flares. I thought maybe some of the flares could go, but the colors I picked for the flares don't really go. Well, actually, I kind of like that one. And this one could maybe go right there. And this, I thought was perfect because it's a Father's Day flare, but it actually, it has a tie, and you know, this may be the only time in his life Barrett will ever wear a tie. Will be for prom. I guess he's a junior, so he'll be going to prom again next year. Okay, and then I'm gonna do another full one right there. Now, I have not ever done texture paste on top of Dina Wakley whoops, I moved that. Let me get this kind of off the page. So I don't know if the color will soak up into the texture paste like Distress Oxides do, and I love that about Distress Oxides. And Diane Reevely's Delusions, it really soaks up into the texture paste. Okay, so now I need one up here, And I might do a big one. This big one right there. And I like that it's going over the spritzing and the dotting and the splatters and splats and all that stuff. So it's really kind of showing through. I'm going to do the double one, maybe a little off the page right here. Okay, so now I'm going to put the flare on and we will be done. Let's see. Do I want that one, the heart there, or the ties? The ties. I'll do the ties. Right there. This blue, let's see. If this is going to go right here, that's kind of in a line. I'm going to move it over maybe to here, and then put this one right there. Okay, and I have some All-American sequins, and what I wanted to do with those is select out the, there are a lot of blues, but there are some kind of bronzy looking wood grain almost. This very masculine kind of thing. I really love, I knew that Barrett had gone out shopping for his suit, and he'd been told that they were all gone or all rented or all sold or whatever. And when he got there, it turned out the one he liked was one that hadn't sold very well. And, you know, he just has different taste from lots of people. So I think it looks fantastic. And because it wasn't a particularly popular model for the dealer, put one of these on the Star, because he made a deal to rent it, and Barrett was paying with his own money. And when the guy quoted the rental cost, Barrett says, "But I only have this." And the guy said, "Okay, I'll let you rent it for that." He said, "Heck, you know what? I'll just give it to you for that. I'll sell it to you for that." So it was quite a successful deal. And I hadn't, at the time I heard the story, I hadn't seen the suit. I didn't see the suit until his dad posted photos after the prom. And what's funny is these photos arrived in my inbox, or I was notified that he had posted them at the same time that Patrice and I were coming back from the Astros game in Houston, and we went by Discovery Green, which is a beautiful park that's right between the stadium and our hotel. And there was a group of about 10 couples, about 20 kids, and photographers and parents and so forth. And I think maybe one of the high schools had planned their prom to be in the convention center. The convention center was also hosting a huge robotics convention. And so the robotics folks were everywhere. And then all of a sudden we saw all these prom folks, you know, dressed up in their formals. So Patrice and I sat on a bench, and Patrice was complimenting them on their dresses, and they all stopped and talked to her, and it was just a really nice experience. And then we get these photos of Barrett. So, okay, so this one is done. It is something of a mess. I will grant you that. And I don't think I did too much to fix it, but this is kind of a mess. And that's what I liked about it. So I kind of like this page, and I'm not apologizing for it. So it's, and I do love the sheen that those Dina Wakley Gloss Sprays leave. Even kind of rubbing them around, there's still something of a sheen there. And the Vicki Boutin matte acrylic gel is matte, but it's left kind of, there's a coating on it. So there's a lot of texture, I guess, that you may or may not be able to see close up, but I will try to give you something of an example. Where the matte gel really shows is on the wrinkled tape, like there and there. And this curled tape, it's actually going to hold that curl, I think. So anyway, thank you very much for watching, and be sure to check everybody else whose links are in my description box. Those are all the folks playing along. They found their own pins on Pinterest, and they're bringing them to life, and we have a big group this month, so you'll get lots and lots of inspiration. And if you'd like to give this a try, go out to either Flickr or Pinterest and look for Strawberry Redhead, all one word. So thanks for watching. Bye.